Okay, let's have a look at the Teespring Editor. Now this is where we're going to be designing our tees and our hoodies and tank tops and whatnot. And there's essentially two ways that you can do this. The first I'm going to be showing you is using Teespring's editor, its built-in editor and the artwork that they supply you here. The second will be the upload of our logo design that we've had done by a designer. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here we are on Teespring. You can either log in and get started. I'd suggest you do that so you can save a draft, or if there's any problems it gets automatically saved for you. I'm just going to hit get started because I'm going to be saving this. Alright, now for those of you who design on Teespring, you can pretty much skip this. I mean, you already know how to do this, but for those of you who don't, this is quite important. First of all, here on the left we have our text editor. I'll jump back into that in a second. And second of all, we've got art. So this is where we're going to be able to upload our own design that we've already had created. But now we're going to be searching for art. So I'm just going to go over creating our own shirt here without any pre-made logo that we've had from a designer. On the right here, we have our style and design. Now there's all different types of tops. Okay, so now once we've designed, I'm going to be showing you how to add all of these types of styles to your campaign. So you don't necessarily just need to sell a tee or a hoodie, but you can have your primary design here as a hoodie or a tee. That's going to be your main design and your main style of top that people are going to see when they hit the campaign. Okay, they can have a wee drop down box that I'll show you later that they can select another design, say like a V-neck or a tank top or a tee if you've got your hoodie as your primary design. But we're just going to go with a tee here. Now, as you can see here, all the colors. There's also a color picker. There are different colors for different styles of t-shirts, and you'll see here that the base cost will change. This is how much it's going to cost to produce just a blank shirt like this. All right. So the more high quality you get in terms of shirt or hoodie, the higher the cost will be. So let's just go with the Hanes tagless. I just wanted to mention here that the different styles of tee here have different colors available to them. You can also add additional colors to your campaign once we get further in. Once I click on the next button, which will be in the next video, we can set our price and our colors and also the different types of styles that can be sold in addition to the primary top here. So let's just start, let's say with a black shirt. I'm going to choose a black one. All right, and we'll choose a font from the popular list. I mean, you've got all your different kinds of fonts here that Teespring will give you. We'll just go with a popular, say Bebas, I don't know how you want to pronounce that, and let's just start with Teespring. Okay, obviously black on black is not going to work, so I'm going to change the color to white. Now see how that base cost has gone up, alright, because we've added another color, and that's what I was talking about in the previous videos, where the more colors that you use, the higher the base cost of your shirt is going to be. Now I'll get into that in a little bit more detail when we come to setting the price of the shirt, but you're essentially increasing the amount of the cost of the tee, and you're decreasing your profit. Say we wanted to sell this at $19, you're only going to be making about $10.70 here in profit. Alright, so we're just going to enlarge this a wee bit. Now what's important here is that when you select this, you've got it snap to center. These wee things down here, you can either duplicate it if you wanted to have the same word. You can center it, you can push it behind text, you can flip it horizontally or vertically. Okay, but I like to keep this on snap to center. It keeps everything aligned, so you can see that wee blue line there when I'm dragging it. It's just going to snap it to the center, just so I know that I'm on track. Alright, now what we can do is hit the art button. We're not uploading our own at the moment. We can search for some art, and perhaps let's just do like thumbs up. Tons of cool things here that Teespring will give us, We'll just go for this one. Obviously, again, black's not going to work on a black tee. Come on, move for me. It doesn't want to move. Here we go. Okay, we're going to set the color to white. Now just note here that it says in use, alright, so we can see what colors are in use already. We've already got two colors. If I hit white here, it'll show us that we've only got one color that's in use, and that's awesome. We want to keep the amount of colors down, like I said, so we want to keep this base cost down, and we can resize this accordingly. We can flip it horizontally, vertically. And just sort of just move that up a bit, and we'll just go for another text. We'll make it white and call it rocks. Move that down. All right, now this obviously, you know, don't laugh too much here. This is not something I'm going to sell. Of course, Teespring rocks, but this is just to give you an idea of how easy it is to use this editor. And you know, if you wanted to try a different font, you could. It's very, very simple. You just change it like that. Very simple, very easy. And I would use this type of text editor to just bang a t-shirt out very, very quickly. If I say it was a hashtag, so you know, you could just get rid of these, go for a text, and that's it. I mean, if you were just doing a simple hashtag t-shirt, why muck around with a designer or in Photoshop? You could just come here and do it so simply. If you didn't want to design on the front, or if you want to design on the front and the back, you could just flip to the back, hashtag back. Now just bear in mind that if you do print on the front and the back, the base cost will go up. Okay, so we've got hashtag on the back here. If we flip to the front and do another one, see the base cost went up. Alright, so always keep an eye on that base cost. You don't want it to be too high, because you want to make the maximum amount of profit, and you want to have the maximum amount of impact on your t-shirt. Alright, so let's jump into the next section where we're going to be uploading our own art. Now I've got one here that I created quite a while ago. It was a campaign that I ran that did pretty well actually, and it got copied to death, unfortunately, and that was before I knew how to sort of hide my campaigns, and I'm going to show you how to do that later. But what we've done here is we've just uploaded a simple PNG, transparent PNG file that I've created in Photoshop. The pins and the bowling ball here was an image that I purchased, and I just created the text in Photoshop fairly easily. And what I'm doing here is I'm resizing the image. Of course, we've got the snap to center. We want it centered, okay? We don't want to be sending out our customers wonky looking t-shirts. No one's going to be happy with that. And we're just you know, increasing and decreasing the size here. See the red on the outside? That's the printable area, okay? Once you go over that, it's not going to allow you to hit next. It's not, you know, it's just going to resize it. It's going to look silly. So just try and keep it within that border there, and you don't want it red. And that's it. We can just choose a different color tee. You know, that looks alright if you like bright green, blue. And like I said, we can add all the different flavors later on. We can add the premium, we can add the canvas, the American Apparel Crew tee. These are all different you know, tees that we can add into the campaign later when I click next, and I'll show you. And you know, they all have different colors. Some of these colors are actually really nice, but it will put the base cost up. So you want your main tee to be the cheapest, and then we can add the more expensive and more high quality t-shirts later on, and also hoodies. So let's say I wanted to put this on a hoodie. We're going to have to resize it accordingly, because you know, it's far too big to fit on a hoodie. So for example, if we're going to put this on a tee and we also want to add a hoodie later, Teespring's backend is going to resize this for us accordingly. Alright, so I'm going to show you that when I hit next, and I'll show you what happens when we want to add say a hoodie or another style of top to our main campaign, which is our main basic tee here that we're going to use. But let's just say our main design was to be a hoodie. We'd have to bring this in, you know, and resize it accordingly, because it's not going to fit very well on a hoodie, and that's looking a wee bit small for a hoodie. You know, I'd probably jump into Photoshop and redesign this if I was going to target hoodies. It still looks alright, but for me it's a bit too small, you know. But like I said, if we were to put this on, say, a basic tee and blew that up, what's going to happen is when we add the hoodie in the next portion, when I click next and we get into the pricing and the other additional styles, it's going to resize it automatically. Okay, so if you wanted to, you know, for a design like this, if you wanted to run a hoodie and a tee, I would do two designs. I would run two different campaigns. Okay, just a tip for you there. You don't really want to make your design too small for your tee for the sake of having a hoodie. Just run two campaigns. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple, uploading your own art. And the color here, obviously that's dependent on your design or what you've done in Photoshop. You can't change it here in the editor. The other thing here you can sort of have both. We can upload our own art, and just put in the word bowling as well. We can use the text editor if we wanted to add anything else, or a hashtag or whatever. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's very easy to use. For those of you who, like I said, who have designed tees and hoodies before on Teespring, I'm sorry, this is probably a bit boring. But for those of you who haven't, I suggest you jump in here and muck around with it, for a while, get comfortable with it. It is really important that you know how to use this and how to get everything right. Because once you go next and you get into the pricing and the additional styles and colors, you don't really want to come back and muck around with this again. And once your campaign's launched, you can't edit the design. Okay, the campaign has launched. If you made a mistake here, you're gonna have to just cut the campaign short and start again. Okay, let's click next and move into the next vid.